Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm just going to be doing a quick review of Avatar: The Way of Water. I just went to see it not so long ago, and I want to do a quick, honest, just how I felt about it after my viewing. Um, First of all, if you would like to see this, I will highly recommend you do. It's definitely worth it. Now that said, let's move on to my thoughts. Okay, so first things first, this movie is a visual masterpiece from James Cameron. The VFX, the way it looks is stunning. It truly feels like you're on Pandora. It has a very strong sense of verisimilitude. So I'll in that sense, James Cameron delivers absolutely on that front. If you're just there for cool visuals, this is absolutely your jam. Beyond that, this movie actually has some decent story. I really enjoyed it. I was hooked throughout the entire movie. I thought initially going to it 3 hours and 10 minutes might be just too much for a movie. I was like, oh, this is gonna be boring. I'm hyped for it, but it's 3 hours. It's too long. I personally thought it was well paced. I didn't feel there was any point in the movie where it felt too slow. So it has a lot of story to tell, and I felt it made good use of the 3 hours and 10 minutes that it had. Now, onto the characters. I enjoyed all the characters, the previous returning characters. So Jake and Neytiri. We had new characters, the children. And I also enjoyed the return of Quaritch in the form of the natives on Pandora. So essentially, I think the character I'm most impressed with in this movie so far was Quaritch. I felt he had the most character development. He goes through a lot. I'll say he goes through. He's a lot less one-dimensional than he was in the first movie. So in the first movie, he came off as a mustache-twirling villain. I'll say he's much more nuanced in this movie. So I'll give James Cameron props for that. Moving on to the next one, next character that I felt that impressed me would be something worth going in for to check out. Jake overall was solid. I love this character. I loved it in the previous one. I loved it here. Absolutely stunning. Okay, the overall plot itself. I felt the plot it could have been, the plot was, it might have been a little too much, maybe. Not that the movie was slow. Again, I said it wasn't slow for me, but I felt maybe he could have shown some restraint rather than putting in so much. But overall, I felt it flowed pretty well, very well thought out. I can't wait to see what he has more coming down the line. I can see on IMDb he's already listed Avatar 3 and 4. So I'm excited to see those ones come out 2024 and 2026. And the score, the sound design for this movie was incredible. I loved it. The way it sounded in theater. Really, it was just as good as the first. Probably even better since the better rise of the betterment of technology since 2009, and everything felt pretty fine. If there's one critique, I would say, because of the story, because of the how much story there is in this, I would say maybe cut out some plot elements so that you can have a much tighter story. Because I feel the length of the story might affect his long run box office. So I just feel like maybe you should have cut out maybe like 20 to 30 minutes, make it just as long as the first one, or slightly shorter than the first one, just to so that people who cannot keep up with who might not be wanted, who might be discouraged from keeping up with this movie because of the long run time, they might be intimidated by this movie. But if it's just like 2 hours and 2.5 hours, they might take a bite at it and find that they really like this. So I just felt like it could have been the story. Some plot points could have been cut out, trimmed a little bit. There is a sense of wonder to this movie, though. I really loved, it was a visual fest. I loved seeing everything here. I can't wait to see this again in theater. Of course, it's a very long movie, so I'm not sure if everyone will see this and go, "Oh, I'm gonna see this immediately," because it's a commitment, 3 hours and 10 minutes, but it's worth it for me. Anyways, that is all the thoughts I have for Avatar: The Way of Water out of theater reaction. Again, I really love this movie. I recommend you go see it, check it out. Overall, I'll give this a solid 8.5 out of 10 for me. It was a solid movie experience. And this is a quadrant film. The character arcs for the sons and everybody, there's something in it um, for the older folks, so with Neytiri and Jake, and there's something in it for the younger children, the younger kids, because this is also a coming of age story for Jake and Neytiri's kids. So I can see this making a boatload of money, even despite its long running time. But it could have made even more if it was a little tighter. That's just my point there. So, however, I'll still recommend to see it. 8.5 out of 10 for me. And that is all my thoughts for my out of theater reaction to The Way of Water. Till next time, see ya.